of cement is produced every year just to satisfy our buildings and infrastructural development. And 70% of this is used in buildings. Now the cement market, I'm not surprised, that is around 700 billion US dollars. That is the estimate of 2022. But the issue is, it also accounts for 7 to 8% of global carbon emission in the world. Now the second problem is loss of indigenous knowledge. If we stop using our traditional building materials, there is every tendency that we will lose our indigenous knowledge, such as the hands-on knowledge transfer, and then which will lead to break in chain of apprentice and master system. Now the poor climate response has to do with building up buildings, heating up very, very quickly. So what is the aim? Overall aim of this paper is to evaluate the relevance of traditional building materials with AI. What do we stand to benefit from AI as traditional builders and as architects that use traditional building materials? Now, I've just listened to and I learned a lot about the history of Zazzau. I learned that it was founded in the 11th century. I'm not going too much into that. And then it has hot, dry climate. And then Islamic heritage or Islamic religion came to Zazzau, according to my source, in the 15th century. Now in Zazzau, because I'm using Zazzau as a case study, recently we have been recording high temperature ranging from 40 up to 42 degrees Celsius. Of course, as architects, we know that this affects what we call time lag, an indoor comfort, thermal comfort. The low humidity also recorded in Zaria is up to 80% during rainfall. Then the solar radiation, which affects internal and external comfort, reaches, last 3 years, averages 35.66 in March. So, what is the advantage of using our traditional buildings? One, it responds to climate. What do you mean it responds to climate? Number one, it adapts to local environmental conditions, uses passive design strategies. As architects, we know that these are buildings that do not require or very minimally require active elements such as fan, air conditioning systems. And then it also reduces energy demands. Now the second advantage is the local materials. Now local materials, we can define them as those materials that are produced, processed and used within the same location where the building is constructed. Now for our experts in this area, we always use the word local. I try to find out how local is this local in terms of distance. I was able to find out that this is up to 500 miles radius or 400 kilometers radius. Any distance within this, any material you are able to get from this distance is referred to as local materials. All right, now these are the materials commonly available in Zazzau Emirate. We have the adobe, we have the laterite, timber, and then thatch. What is adobe? Adobe is a processed laterite. Actually, clay soil is used in the production of this, but then it has to be cured naturally in the sun, as opposed to burnt bricks. So what are the properties of these materials that we are proposing that we should continue to use them? Number one, thermal mass. Thermal mass means the ability of a wall or laterite to absorb heat during the day and then release it gradually in the night, such that when it is very hot, like now, when you go into any traditional house, you find that it is relatively cooler. But in the night, when it is very cold, again, you find out that it is relatively warmer. So it has very low carbon, very sustainable, and very available. I've already defined the local. No, go back. Back to the figure. The figure. Yes. Now I have a very simple figure to demonstrate how the adobe works. In here is the sun, the solar radiation that is incident on adobe wall. Adobe wall has the property, has the characteristics of continuously absorbing this heat for 8 to 10 hours. That is what we call time lag. After 10 hours, it starts releasing it into the inside, that is into the interior of the house or of the building. So this is the property that we refer to as thermal mass. So this time lag is very important in thermal comfort. And that is the reason, many of us don't know, that is the reason why we use hollow blocks in our building.